Welcome to Cougar Mountain Software Denali Essential Training.
Denali Vendor Maintenance. The vendor maintenance screen allows management of all vendor data in one place. Most of the fields in this window are self-explanatory, but have a few very specific functions related to AP functionality as well as integration with other modules. To reach this window, open the Vendor menu item in AP and then go to Vendor Maintenance. The first field in this window is the vendor number. This number is the key field that Denali uses to identify the particular vendor account. It is alphanumeric and can be up to 50 characters long. It is advisable to create an account naming convention that users will be able to recognize and use easily. The AP code field next to the number dictates how the transaction posting is handled for this vendor. AP codes are explained in the AP codes training video. The individual or company name in the field below the number will be the actual entity name that applies to that vendor. The created date for the vendor is next. Then the vendor status of active, inactive, or temporary is listed. Temporary vendors can be deleted at year-end. Product type can then be entered to explain what type of items this vendor provides. The credit limit for the vendor can be entered, and the module will track the purchasing power when ordering from this vendor. The GL expense account can be used to designate a specific account that purchases from this vendor will affect. If left blank, the purchase order or inventory module will dictate the expense account used. The date due calculation method for invoices and discounts are set to the vendor's payment guidelines so that timely bill paying is handled correctly by accounts payable. If this vendor will be issued a 1099 at the end of the year, ensure this box is checked. Their 1099 accumulations will be tracked on the 1099 tab below, along with the federal ID number and other details. The Statistics tab is a summary of the vendor historical and financial information. Purchases, returns, and payment information is shown for the vendor based on transactions. The Address tab contains the pertinent vendor contact information, along with their designation for the user customer number. Remittance information for this vendor is shown on the next tab, including electronic payment information. The Aging tab contains payment and invoice information for this vendor, and the History tab contains more detailed transaction information that can be drilled down to find specific details. There is also a tab for vendor notes to be entered, as well as a record of vendor-attached files. The user-defined fields are set in Module Preferences, and the vendor information for these fields are shown on the last tab. As with other Denali modules, the Find and the arrow buttons can be used to find and select a vendor, as well as edit and delete them. The Vendor Maintenance window allows the entry of as much or as little information as needed for vendors, allowing for accurate and integrated vendor records.